Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men who act like children of all ages, welcome in to MoY Ploy Week 9. We have got a very fun show for you. Some great matchups this week. Looking forward to some matchups next week. And we had some very fun ones this week. Let's jump straight into it. Man, how are you guys feeling on this Tuesday? Because I am flying high. Highest points scored in the week, Jaboy. Um, yeah. Let's get straight into it. We have got some very spicy things to talk about. First thing we're going to get into, though, is the Week 9 recap. I don't want to spend a ton of time here, but Ray, Fraud Alert Ray, was finally found out. Jaden Daniels, oh my God, did you guys see that injury? Ugh, I don't watch injuries. Like whenever someone's like, oh, gruesome injury, I never go look it up. I'm like, oh, gotta see it. No, I was simply scrolling, and within like the first 5 frames of somebody's post was Jaden Daniels' elbow just hit the ground, and then it was going this direction, and then it didn't stop. It was going this direction, and then it just didn't stop. It just kept going. Oh my lord! I don't think it was his throwing arm, but still, pretty brutal. CJ Stroud also got knocked out. I'm guessing he got back in the concussion protocol because he definitely had a concussion. And generally, if they clear you in 1 week, you are still concussed. Like when it comes to concussions, there's a reason that fighters take months off in between fights. It's because they get concussed every single fight. And it takes a very long time to recover from those. The fighters that don't take that sort of crazy amount of time off in between fights, you notice that their chin gets weaker and weaker because it becomes easier for you to become concussed while you're still suffering from the effects. Wow. I'm a little tired. I haven't had my coffee today. Still suffering from the effects of your previous concussion. Anywho, that's enough about me talking about what I don't know about. Drake London, huge performance. Still couldn't save Ray here. Ray, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single-digit performers. That ain't gonna cut it. Yikes, buddy. Anyways, good job to Eddie Sweaty Disler. Then we have, let's get into it. This is what you guys came to hear about. Let's be real. You guys came to hear about this one. Todd the God, your MoY, he pulled out of the ass. I mean, he pulled one out of his ass last night. Man, and to see him sitting at 5-4 and still not in the playoffs because he barely scored any points, this is bringing back some very fond memories of Moy's past. Let's take a look. This matchup was absolutely incredible. It came right down to the wire, and it really all came down to Trey McBride in the flex position. Amazing. My dad also having the incredible balls to leave 40-point Joe Flacco on his bench. Like just true genius mind games out of my dad right here. Another manager who had a chance to win was Matt Chu, but he benched DJ Moore and Sam Laporta in favor of Tucker Kraft and just about anyone else on his team. Yikes. Yeah, both of his players outperformed his entire team except for his quarterbacks. Zoiks, Matt. That's some MoY level collapse going on right there. I don't know, buddy. In our third matchup, we had Brett Tet versus Brent Tent in a matchup of the Tents. This one was not so close. Brent not last yet Van Conyu still still by the skin of his teeth, not last yet. uh, his team name is killing me, Brent. It's so funny. The moment you named your team not last yet, you slid down to 7th place, and Peter's been good to you, keeping you out of last place. Yeah, a couple notable performances, but yeah, Brent really had no chance of winning this. Leaving Rico Dowdle on your bench, Brett, you know, it's next level stupidity. You even named him Mr. 200. He was named the starter. I understand why you wouldn't start him in week 7 when Chuba was back. I understand why you wouldn't start him in week 8 when he was not named the starter, but when he's named the starter, this man is a machine. They give him the ball. He gets touchdowns. He gets yards. He's even involved a little bit in the passing game. What are you doing, Brett? What are you doing? He's RB9 and he's only played like 3 full games. Absolutely wild. Rico Dowdle is going to get himself paid this offseason. And finally, we had the fireworks show that was the first place score against the third place score, Peter Cheater Pigu Hot Sizzle O'Donnell. I am sorry to say, buddy, if you had played anyone this week except for Brett, you would have been taking home the W. You also had a pretty good chance with 44.7 points on your bench. Caleb Williams, named Caleb C. Dubs Williams. Oh, my Lord. And he left QJ on the bench. Oh, no. I have been playing mind games with Peter about when to start QJ for a long time, and they're paying off big time. George Kittle flexing a tight end. It just seems absolutely wild to me that you would flex a tight end. Jake Ferguson's been solid this year, I suppose, but like all this, CeeDee Lamb was out for. This, CeeDee Lamb was back. So you could have put George Kittle in your tight end spot. And the predictably mediocre Jake Ferguson could have been replaced by Huge. And then having a lot of faith in Indiana Jones over here. Good old Indianiel came through for me. Look, boy's gonna boy. When you drop players like Kenneth Walker, when you don't need to drop players, when you drop players like Cam Scadaboo, when you draft the wide receiver of the team that you just drafted the running back for, when you grabbed A-Chain in the 3rd, then you grab Tyreek Hill in the 4th. These are MoY moves. When Jalen Hurts is still on the board, and then you go grab the injury-prone Joe Flacco behind a terrible offensive line, these are MoY moves. I warned you, Pete. I warned you that you need to avoid risk in your first couple of rounds of drafting. In your first 6 rounds, 4 of those 6 players have been injured for multiple weeks. 2 of them have had season-ending injuries. Oh, buddy. All right, that's all we're going to talk about. What we do need to talk about is there have been some trades, I do believe. Let's see if I can find the... let me see if I can find the trade thing here. I'm going to have to pull it up on my phone because I can't do it on the website because the website is just not as good. Where's like league activity? This is riveting podcast material right here, boys. Oh, shoot. I can't remember how to do that stuff. All right, well, what I do know is that we had a massive trade go down. It was between myself and Matt Chu. Puka Nacua and Drake May come my way. Josh Allen, that one hurts. DK Metcalf, Xavier Worthy, and Lad McConkey. Matt gets some depth at wide receiver and the number 1 overall pick, Josh Allen. I get Drake May, who has been outperforming his draft status, and Puka Nakua coming back from injury. I felt like I needed a high risk, high reward play in going for a injury prone Puka Nakua. Definitely injury prone, but it paid off for me handsomely. Puka did well. Drake May did fine. And DK Metcalf and Lad McConkey were dog shit. So if I'd started them, I probably would have lost this week. So that is nice. Another MoY move that must be highlighted. Let's take a look. Let's see. When we're talking about MoY moves, where is it? There's a lot of activity in the last week. Wow. Okay. Where is the MoY move that I would like to highlight? Oh yeah, I forgot. We never really talked about that trade. My dad sent me that trade offer, and after Scadaboo got injured, I thought it'd be fun to accept it because I'm pretty sure he did that to Ray a couple years ago. And as soon as he noticed, yes, he threw a temper tantrum and made sure that I knew about it. Oh, look, here's a MoY move. Dropping Kenneth Walker when you don't need to, and then instead adding Isaiah Davis, a backup running back, onto your team. MoY, where is it? There it is. Eddie Disler. You dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. You dropped Nico Collins. You dropped him. Because he was in concussion protocol, which he cleared. You dropped him. He wasn't even that bad. The Texans' offense isn't great, but like these are usable numbers. Ask anyone in this league if they would plug these sort of numbers into their starting lineup. The answer is yes. Like for some reason this year we've got guys who are starting players like Jake Ferguson, and they're flexing tight ends left and right. Like Wan'Dale Robinson's in a starting lineup. You've got guys here. Tet McMillan in a starting lineup. Khalil Shakir, Deebo Samuel in starting lineups this year. Nick Chubb. And you drop Nico Collins. Do you know what I would have traded to get Nico Collins on my team? MoY. Absolute MoY. And I burnt all my fab getting him onto my team. Thank you for the dub. Eddie, don't call me sweaty. Disler. We are going to talk about the standings at the moment in the playoff picture because, boys, this is a 14-week league. Week 15 is the semifinals, and then week 16 and 17 are the finals. We do not play in week 18. It is a 2-week finals for those of you who are new. Cough, cough, Matt Chu. A 2-week finals, meaning that you take your score from the first week against their score from the first week, and the game does not end there. Then you go and play the second week, and it combines your score from the first and the second week against their score from the first and the second week. And the best overall score from 2 weeks is the champion. Now, 14 weeks. We are 9 weeks and there are only 5 weeks left. We need to talk about the playoff picture. Ray, the fraud rat squirts, hanging on to first place despite being in fourth place of total points scored. And he took a big L this week. Took a very big L this week. Feels rough. Then we've got Matt Chu, who also took a big L, could not capitalize on Ray's loss and jump into first place because of his own mismanagement. Then we've got Lucky Beaver, Brett Tet Fitzgerald, third place, like with the most points scored against him. Man, Brett, you should be doing much better than you are. Eddie, the Kamara Sutra, don't call me sweaty Disler. Sitting here comfortably in fourth with a tiebreaker of about 90 points ahead of my dad, who is in 5th. Myself, who is, oh, I said you were 4th for points scored in the league. I'm sorry, Ray. You're 5th because I am 3rd and Eddie is 4th. What the fuck? This is the bullshit I'm talking about every year. I have the second most points scored against me by 1 point. This is the bullshit I'm talking about, boys. Every year I have to deal with this dog shit. It's so exhausting. All right, Brett Tet Tet. Let's just cut to the chase. Is there like every team, whoopsies. Every team from myself and up has hope. You either have a winning record or you've got like the god tier tiebreakers like I do. Is there hope for Brent and Pigu? Peter Cheater, Pigu, Hot Sizzle, O'Donnell. I'm going to go ahead and say, short of just naming him the MoY right now, because he won all of his games and made it into the playoffs by the skin of his teeth, and like just literally managing his team to perfection the rest of the way. Short of that, Peter's season feels done. I talked about it. I tried to cheer him up last night after the loss, and was like, "Yeah, it's not over yet, buddy. Don't give up. Nah, it's over, buddy. It's fucking over. Just trade me all your boys." Yeah. And then Brent here. The big thing about these teams is that like there's no savior coming for them. Like, is Rashad White going to save you? Is Dylan Sampson going to save you? Is Brashad Smith going to save you? No. Unlikely. Brent, like, is there anyone coming off of injury? Yeah. Swift, I guess. Terry McLaurin's been terrible. He's starting quarterback just got injured. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, Dante Smith, not really a savior. He's got just as many single digit games as he does double digit games. Josh Downs, despite the offense flying high, he has not been. I don't know. I don't see saviors coming for these two teams. And it's like Brent does have Patrick Mahomes, which he could trade to try and improve his starting lineup and get guys like Deebo Samuel and Khalil Shakir out of the starting lineup. I guess you don't have to replace Shakir. Like that production's okay. It's okay enough. But Deebo has been brutal. 1, 2, 3, 4 single digits. He's got just as many single digits as he does doubles. Deebo's been terrible. Plus, Deebo's got a bye week still coming down the pipe. Like, Deebo's been bad. Ted McMillan has been ass. You know, I get that he's a rookie and you expect him to turn around any minute. But with Rico, the franchise doubtful, getting all of the work, there just hasn't been a ton of targets going around. Bryce Young has eclipsed 200 yards exactly one time this season. That's a problem. That's a big problem. So I just don't see the salvation coming for these guys. Travion Henderson, maybe he gets a starting role. Like the number of things that have to break right for Brent to make a run is staggering. Staggering. Oh boy, this cast is running long. I'm waxing poetic again. All right. Next up, we've got next week's matchups. Let's take a look at week 10. Alrighty, we have got, let's take a quick look. Is there a game of the week? Yes, there is. There is a game of the week. First game, myself versus Brent Tent. Then we've got Peter Cheater, Pigu, Hot Sizzle, O'Donnell up against Brett Tet. Then we've got Eddie, Don't Call Me Sweaty, up against Todd, the MoY God. And finally, the game of the week, Ray, the Rat Mert Squirts up against Maddie, Southside Matt Chew. In the game of the week, the battle for first place. Winner of this game will be in first place. Either Ray will keep it on Ray the Fraud Alert Mert Squirts, is going to keep his first place, or Maddie Southside is going to dethrone him as the true and rightful leader of this league. It is going to be a fun one to watch. Ray has got to get Jalen Hurts back in his lineup. Jaden Daniels, you might be able to cut him. Someone will probably stash him if you cut him, I suppose. So you probably just slap him in your IR spot. Yeah, what a bummer, man. What a bummer. Anywho, I really want to talk about the playoff picture and who's got like a great schedule coming up. So of the 6 teams, there's only really, I would say, 2, myself and my dad, who are like really questionable if we're going to make the playoffs or not. I get to play against Brent this week. Thank God. Then my dad has got to play against Eddie. Yeah, pretty even matchup there. Then week 11, I get Eddie. I will be able to control my own fate, and my dad gets Brent. So I don't see that. I don't think this playoff race is really going to get loose until maybe week 12, when I have to go up against the possible #1 team at the time, Maddie HR Southside. And my dad gets another cupcake matchup against the Sins of MoY Ploy Past. One of my favorite team names, by the way. Peter Cheater Pigu Hot Sizzle O'Donnell. Then week 13, we've got me against Ray. I got another tough one. My dad has a tough one. Week 14, the final week of the season. It is me versus my dad. That could decide who goes and who stays. And it looks like I've got some significant bye weeks that week between Christian McCaffrey and Drake May. Not looking forward to having to replace that level of production to decide everything in week 14. Anyways, boys, that's all I've got for you. Thanks for listening. Sorry for the long cast, but I'm long-winded when I get wins. What can I say? Anyways, boys, that is everything. And I will be seeing you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.